We're going to take off from where we finished. Still in the markets. Let's take a quick look at the currencies markets. A bit of a nasty week for the Nigerian currency, what you call the local currency units at the street level. Take a quick look at where we finished off on Friday. The Naira at the interbank spot market lost about 0.2% against the dollar, 305.80. I beg your pardon, that's a bit of a typo there. Yeah, 305.80. Gained 1.62% on the British pound at 382.74. Finished Friday about 0.1% in the red against the euro at 334.62. Flip that to the street, what you call the black market. I just hate using the term black market on television. So I just call it, we call it street market. 0.2% negative against the dollar, almost 1% in the red against the British pound and against the euro, 0.63%. And you can see that all on the street when we finish on Friday. Markets since moving, since we start today. We're about 2 hours into official business day here in Nigeria for the current week. But let's move on to the oil and gas space, where the sector lost 2.36% last week. Again, as always, we track the big seven. But in the last 1-2 weeks, it's been the big three out of the big seven. That's giving us a bit of a green, then a bit of a red, then the rest just a shade of gray all over. Look at 40 oil, down at 51.67. This was the stock trading around 400 naira per share, now at double digits, minus 2.32% on Friday. Owendo gained, however, give us a single green shoot, 1.06%. Volume in Owendo has been really, really heavy in the last 1 week. Suppose Robert Tamontude knows what we don't know. He's the head of research at AfriInvest. He's here in the studio in the next 1 or 2 minutes to talk to us through the big seven. Then you look at Seplat, also both in the same business with Owendo, with a little bit of a difference because Seplat don't do downstream. It's 100% E&P. You can see Seplat holding on to that number, 380 a share price. Total shaved off 4.23% in the week we just finished. So let's just say a warm welcome and good morning to Robert Tamontude, live here in the studio with us to talk us through the big seven and the outlook on them. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Boston.
That's the departure handshake, but you get it at first. I wonder how this will go over the next few minutes. Now, this big seven, give us a sense of looking at this. Let's start from the side of this big seven retailers. What's your view about them in the last few days, few weeks? We've seen 40 Oil reporting, but the rest six seem to be quiet.
Yes, 40 Oil seem to have beaten the other players to it in terms of releasing its full year result. But generally speaking, I think the sector has been plagued by a number of issues, one of which is the fact that we've seen some form of apathy towards equity, both for local and for foreign investors. And truth be told, the sector has been somewhat a clear outperformer if you compare what they have done in 2016 and even up to 2017 year to date. And the reason is because apart from the exception of Forte Oil, and of course Owendo, because of the pressure they've seen in terms of their numbers as a third quarter, what we've experienced, investors continue to punish those stocks for that. But clearly speaking, I think maybe the ELGP that's just been released could also be a positive signal for the sector in 2017, given that one of the areas that material wants to focus on is in terms of energy efficiency. And if you leave the power sector and you focus on the oil and gas sector, it's been said that the government hopes to complete the liberalization process, which is started in 2016, which of course was the major bright spot that the oil and gas sector experienced.
2015, 2016, the 90% of the conversation in the oil and gas downstream was all about subsidy, subsidy, and subsidy.
Yep.
Are we done with that? Is that why these talks are quiet? Are we done with the subsidy issue? Is this why investors feel, well, I don't see any reason why this talk should actually move upward or downward? Perhaps we just keep them somewhere there in limbo.
Well, I think we can't absolutely say that we're done with subsidy. The reason is because in 2016, the PPPRA rolled out the template for the pricing of petroleum products. And one of the elements of that template is the FX, which was pegged at 285 naira to the dollar. Although the federal government is not directly, giving naira subsidy, but there seems to be some form of FX subsidy, because if you look at what the market is pricing, if